A lot of it is a blur. Um, After that long, I think there's certain milestones when certain actors have come in and have played for a long time. Those moments, like I've mentioned, when I've changed the show a little bit, little things, little fine tuning here and there, adjusting my underscoring for some stuff because I come across a new soundtrack. But what I remember the most between now and then is then. I remember that was my first full season of owning a theater, and I was very ambitious. I did so many shows that year, and I was trying to squeeze in Night of the Living Dead, and it was the one show that I was like, okay, this is going to just be a lot of fun. But as I dove into it, I realized my scale. There was just so many moving parts, and it was such unfamiliar territory. It was unsurmountable pressure and stress getting this thing up the first year. And that's what I remember the most of, like, all of those choices, second guesses. Should I do it? Should I not? Should I pull the trigger on that? You know, taught me a valuable lesson that sometimes just follow your gut instinct, take those risks, push harder, and you know, you'll benefit from it in the long run. So ultimately, I would say 95% of my show really hasn't changed in 20 years. I actually got it right that long ago, and that is reassuring. Not only every year I do it, but anytime I take on any new project, I can go back to Night of the Living Dead and go, remember how you were questioning yourself, can you pull this off, can you do it? And then you did, and here it is, it's still going, and people are still wanting to see it. So I really think about then and now every year. Every year when I'm sitting up there running the sound, I think about that first year and how I had to discover so many things. And it's just a wonderful, wonderful moment in my life. Horrible to live through at the time, but looking upon it, it was a wonderful time putting this show together.
I'm Zombie Joe Sanders, if people don't already know that. I've been with the show 28 years. This is our 20th year. I joined the cast 2 nights before opening night that year, and have just been doing it ever since.
Hello, I am Brianna Dauncey, and I have been playing Barbara since, I always forget, I think it's either 2013 or 2014. I think it's 2014.
My name is Kyrie Sanders, and this is my 11th year doing this show.
So my name is Haley Tweeter, that's my stage name, and I am playing Barbara this year.
My name is Scott Johnson, and I play Ben.
My name is Remington. This is my first year doing the show at Maverick Theater.
I auditioned. It was one of the rare years that they had auditioned for parts. They actually auditioned both Night of the Living Dead and Plan 9 from Outer Space in the same year, and I got cast in both, luckily enough.
So I'm Becky Jones, and this is my 15th year. I've been a zombie for 15, and then this is my first year officially as stage manager. So in the past I've done a few things backstage, we all help out, but this year it's credited.
My name's Frank Tryon. I play Harry Cooper, the bad guy of the show, and this is my 11th year of their 20th year, so my 11th year.
I started out with Night of the Living Dead, then I joined the Santa Claus Conquers the Martians cast as Torg, the evil space robot. Then I started doing Plan 9 as one of the special effects folks that you can see actually doing all the work. It's kind of cool because Kyrie, my daughter, has now taken my place in that show. And then in 2019, I joined the cast of King Kong when we first opened that show. And that was cool because that was my first speaking role, so I got to do a lot of more acting.
I was at the last show, King Kong, and then Brian was at the last show. Usually he comes at closing night, and then he asked me, hey, you want to be part of our new show? And I'm like, sure. And then he said, would you like to be our Sydney this year? And I'm like, yeah.
Started here doing the show Amadeus in 2013, and then right after that, Brian asked me to be in The Sting, which was shortly after that. And then he said, hey, we've got this zombie show. Like, do you want to try out for it? And I was like, okay, sure. So I didn't quite know what to expect because I'd never done anything in that genre before. And then I thought it was really fun. I was like, oh, this is cool. And so I tried out, and I got the part, so I've been going ever since then.
I've mostly been in my school plays. My most recent is Aladdin.
I'd done one show here before. About 6 months previous, I did a musical version of The Toxic Avenger, and that was my first show here. And then got involved in the annual shows shortly after, and have been here since.
I think there were a couple guys that played the role before me, and honestly, I've known Brian for forever, and he just called me and said, I need an actor to do this role. You want to do it? And I said, absolutely. I'd seen the show a bunch, loved it. I said, absolutely.
I actually had no intention of being a zombie, but Brian had approached myself and Cassandra Cade, who's one of our Helens, and said, hey, next year, what are you guys doing in October? And so that's how it happened.
Opening night is really what made that decision, and that was because of Judith O'Dea, who played Barbara in the original Romero film, happened to be there in the audience. And her and I had talked a couple times on the phone before she came, and put a little pressure on, for sure. But she's a stage actress, and she'd done community theater around Orange County. But she said after the show, this was fantastic. You are bringing it back every year. And then I went, yes. And that was it. It was sealed right there with Judith O'Dea.
This year, we're doing 2 casts, so you kind of get 2 completely different takes, and there's a completely different feel between the 2. Even though a lot of us zombies are doing both casts, but it's cool. Like, there is a different aura with each cast, which is fun, and it's been really exciting. And that's why I think one of the reasons I'm like, oh, maybe it's not my last year. I don't know, but that's a big thing, is that it does change.
I feel like I've had a lot of time to, I think a lot of actors don't get to spend this much time with a character. So I feel like even still now, even all these years, I'm finding little things that I'm like, oh, I didn't realize I could explore that little avenue with a character.
Really weird, because I have to scream my heart out.
The incorporation in 2010 of having a small child, Sydney came here to audition with her folks, and I thought it was really weird that parents were letting a 9-year-old audition, and I thought, since she was so into it, they maybe should have her checked out. Turns out Sydney's absolutely normal. She just was raised on horror pictures and loved them and wanted to be in them, wanted to be a zombie at that age. And I was like so intrigued by this. I'm all, well, how do I work with that? So I came up with that moment of introducing Sydney at the very beginning, not a zombie, with the actual homeowner. I thought, well, you'll never see the homeowner in the movie. Maybe he's dead on the floor upstairs in the movie, but you never see him. And I thought, well, what's not interesting? We'll have him introduce the show with his daughter Sydney. And I'm all, that's a perfect time, not that we needed to, that I'll introduce the people in the cellar. The Coopers and Tom and Judy, they come in and they're trying to use a phone, but then the zombies have followed them, and the homeowner gets taken, and Sydney gets locked out of the cellar by Mr. Cooper. He gets eaten, and then of course she comes back as a zombie. I thought, well, this is right up, the Romero Avenue. I mean, this is right what stuff that he tries to do. So that all happened because Sydney showed up to audition. And here I thought, which was a creepy situation, turned into an awesome situation. And we've tried to keep Sydney's character going. After she grew up, she went on to do Karen and then a zombie. Younger girls would come along and audition, and we'd put them in there. So it's kind of like a rite of passage. Kyrie Sanders started out as it, and then she morphed into Karen for years, and now she's Judy. And does some zombie stuff as well. So it's interesting. Currently we have a new actress. Her name's Remy. She's doing a great job. She really seems to be in it. Who knows? 10 years from now, is she going to be Karen? Is she going to be Judy? I don't know. But this is kind of the lineage of the show. How it just, when it continues, it takes on a life of its own.
No, I'm really used to it because I usually watch scary movies, so I'm used to it already.
I went to a dress rehearsal one day and was up in the corner of the audience and saw my dad fall down the stairs and cracked up. So then the next year I joined the cast, and then I played Sydney for I think 3 or 4 years, then moved on to Karen for I don't even know how many years. Then last year I played a zombie And this year I'm splitting Judy and a zombie, so it's really fun.
This is my first year playing Barbara. For the last 7 years before this, so this is my 8th year. The last 7 years I've been playing Judy. So this is quite a jump up into a new role, and it's been really, really natural, the transition over. I was very nervous that my nervous system would just want to go back into Judy or hear the sound cues and remember, especially in Fight 2, what I was supposed to be doing as Judy, but it didn't really get in the way at all. It was a natural transition. I think it's a testament to the family that we are here, that everyone was super supportive and really, really kind, and especially, my Bens, Andy and Scotty have been absolutely amazing in finding little moments, finding new things, and I've just had a blast, an exhausted blast.
So, Dwayne Jones, rest in peace, he's an icon. And there's no way I could duplicate what he did. And I knew that I wasn't going to try to do that. So I had to kind of make Ben my own. So what I decided was I was going to make him a veteran. I wanted to make him military. I told Brian, well, you know what, let's just action hero this thing up, man. So the backstory I had, he's a Marine. I put through the USMC, tat on my arm, did the dog tags, built a whole backstory for myself, completely independent. My Ben is a Vietnam veteran who carries trauma from the war, failed marriage, all these things. Because the most important thing to me when I'm on stage as Ben is Barbara. So to me, Barbara represents redemption for him. I feel like I served my country. But when I came back and I brought back all the stuff that comes from being a veteran, I failed my family. And Barbara is my chance to get that right. If I can save her, if I can do that, then there's redemption. So that's what drives me through the show.
I think one of the reasons the Maverick is still going is because of Night of the Living Dead, as well as Santa Claus, and now King Kong and stuff like that. Those are the shows that bring audiences back. And since they're my shows, I don't pay royalties on them. I don't have to go out and buy new costumes. I don't need to build sets. I have them all. So they're really great revenue generators for the theater.
Started out just as a zombie. Then year 2 or 3, I started kind of helping out a little more on the tech side of things. And then as the years went on, I expanded to set, load in, strike, all kinds of stuff. Zombie Wrangler, when we do auditions, I generally am there present and trying to teach them how to be zombies, give them like a zombie school or a zombie 101, if you will, and help audition folks. And then it was 2018 is when I started assistant directing.
I think it's a really cool perspective to be on the actor side and on the stage, or the backstage side, because they're so different and you really appreciate every little person. Because sometimes when you're an actor, you don't realize how much goes on backstage. So I think having the both perspectives is really nice to be like, I appreciate you for doing this, or you're just willing to see things a little differently than just being an actor in something.
It's a lot of fun. It's a little less stressful than a lot of the other characters, because she doesn't have as much stage time, but also I don't have to worry about a lot of the excess blood or contacts or anything like that, so it's nice. It also has a lovely range of emotion you get to play, which is fun to do.
I just feel like I'm the smallest one here looking up like, hi. I just feel like there's no one my age that I can relate to.
I loved her, and but yeah, she's definitely aged with me over time, and I think the thing I love her more and more every year. Because I definitely have always tried to have the arc with her of that, she's initially, this is a terrifying situation. She's scared, she's terrified, and a lot of times she's annoying because of that, because it's like, this is a completely unrealistic situation that's an emergency. But over time, I love that she learns to get brave and to fight and to persist despite all odds. And I relate to that in a lot of ways because, you know, I've definitely been that way in my life a lot, of just being scared of things and then just pushing through and finding out that I can do it. And that's the thing that I love about her, and I love her strength despite being scared.
For me, a lot of it with Helen is the juxtaposition of being scared of what's going on, but kind of getting the courage she needs because of her daughter and needing to get the help for her daughter, and she'll do whatever it takes. So she's scared of what's happening, but not scared enough to not do something about it. The first entrance I make is holding onto the shoulders of her, and from that moment on, it's like my job is to protect her throughout the whole show, and that's kind of my motivation. So the moment that I have outside getting ready to go in, just holding onto her shoulders, it grounds me. Like, this is what Helen's here for, even just the beginning of the show, and keep that moving through the whole thing.
He's a pretty one-dimensional character. He's just kind of a jerk, and I keep fighting to make it a little more three-dimensional. Like, this is a guy just trying to fight for his family, and every time I think I get a little too nice guy with it, Brian's there to say, just don't forget you're the bad guy, okay? So yeah, some humanity, I think, as I try and bring to him.
Over the years, you learn how to fall, you learn how to land, and I can walk away a whole show run without a bruise anymore and not hurt myself. But at first, you're very much focused on not hurting yourself, not hurting anyone else. You're so in your head to make sure that you look right and you feel right and you sound right. And I think over the years, it's just second nature. I just flip it on now, and you just know how to fall. But it's hard when we try to explain it to new zombies. It's very difficult. You just have to flip the switch and do it. We laugh because Brian, the director, will say, teach them how to zombie walk, and I can't tell them how to do it. I have to stop and get in my headspace like I'm ready to do a show and then do it, or if it's weird and it's funky and it doesn't flow. And we laugh about how Joe has to do that too. He has to get in that mindset, and you just kind of switch it off and you switch the performer on, and you do the walk, or you do the growl, or the movement. It's like falling, getting shot on stage. I don't know that I could tell you how to do it, but when it happens, my body just does it now, and I can fall. I know where to fall and how to fall, not to hurt myself or my castmates. So it's definitely evolved over the years. Now it's almost more fun for me because I can listen more to what's going on around me, and I hear the dialogue, and I hear the differences in the different leads and their different performances, and now I can get outside myself, do my part, do it well, but really understand the rest of what's going on in the show, which is really kind of cool. So I get to actually watch it myself from that perspective of being on stage every night and not have to focus as much on what I'm doing. It just kind of clicks in.
I mean, when I started Night of the Living Dead, it was just, it was just not Scary Farm. I don't even think the Queen Mary had started. Certainly, Universal had started. And so the Halloween season has turned and evolved into this big time of year. It's a fantastic time of year. Everyone really loves this time of year. And God knows when we're going through all kinds of crap in life and everything, it's really great to look forward to something other than Christmas. You outgrow Christmas as you get older, unless you have kids. You know, that's a whole nother reason to enjoy Christmas. But Halloween is for any age, at any time. So I think I caught the wave, and we're just going to continue riding it. And I don't ever see this stopping. I do not see people lessening their craze or crave for Halloween season. So that's really what's kept Night of the Living Dead going all these years.
Well, we've talked about it before in years past. We are very much a family here. So there's a big family aspect of that. Also, my daughter's in the cast. She's been in the cast, I forget how many years now, but she started when she's 8. When I started, she was 6 months old when I first started the show. Then she joined us when she was 8. She's going to be 20 in February now, so she's been with the cast for a while. So that aspect of having my daughter in the show has really helped. But just, I like doing it. I'm a glutton for punishment. I like to beat myself up, and stuff like that. But it's just fun.
It's so fun. I get to hit him in the second fight, so any of the aggression I have from him the week, I can just hit it right out. And it's fun because I know from all the years he's like, hit me really hard, don't hold back. So I'm like, I'm not gonna hold back. So
rotated a lot of people in and out of the cast. There's also been people who've been in it through the long haul that I've been here too. I tell people it feels like a reunion every single year, getting to see the same people, but it's also fun when we get the new people, because then it's like a little bit of freshness added, and sometimes because of it we change the stunts a little bit, so it adds a little bit of excitement every year. So it's never exactly the same year to year, because we have those small cast changes, and we do keep things exciting with some changes in the stunt work and stuff. So I think the way it rotates in and out keeps it nice and fresh, but it also still has that same feeling that you come for every single year, and a lot of those same faces that you're seeing. And yeah, I think it's a good combination of both.
Yeah, it's been amazing to see the show evolve over the years, and I just see that my bond with her kind of grows deeper in that sense of like, I get it, and especially with the more I experience with age, and it's just amazing, and I can see why this show is so long running.
I've met so many wonderful people. Like I said, it's a family thing. They've done so much for my daughter in her career in acting and stuff. She's really expanded outside of the theater, doing high school shows and shows with other theaters and stuff. And so that's been great with that.
I think it's incredible that it's ran for so long, like seeing the same people coming over and over again, and every year we have all these new people coming to see the show too. There's just something about it, I think, as Halloween gets bigger and bigger, it seems, every single year. It just draws more attention to it.
Definitely got legs. I think it's just got, I always say Brian is kind of the James Cameron of local theater, and the things he brings to the stage, the audience sees how amazing that is, and then the next year they want to see it again and again and again, and it just grows and grows, just like families getting together to watch It's a Wonderful Life. It has just become a part of their life. They just get to be exposed to it, and honestly, if it wasn't any good, they'd pass by. We'd do a different Halloween show, but it's really fun. It's really scary. For the most part, it's almost all age groups, and people can keep, and it's a nice mix from doing like a haunt or a walkthrough or something. It's just a fun, good, scary show.
I think I definitely sort of view Barbara through a little bit different eyes, because we also, just as people, have been through a lot with COVID, and my own personal just delving into emotional things and things I've having gone through, of things in the script just kind of tend to hit differently as I get older, of like, ooh, okay, I can find that little pocket of like, ooh, it affects me this way, or like, ooh, this little bit of tragedy, my personal tragedy, comes out in this way, or things have evolved of like, I'm married now, like I feel weirdly different as a married person, and I'm like, okay, so it just, different parts of the script hit me in different ways each year, and so it's more relatable in certain ways of like, oh, okay, maybe emotion is coming out of me this way now versus how it did in the past. And so, yeah, just I feel like she kind of evolves with me, and how the emotion hits and how the emotion comes out, and how it's kind of portrayed of like, the audience may be thinking it's about this one thing, but it's sort of this internal thing that I have going on that I'm venting in this manner. So yeah, it's just kind of interesting the way that, how our own experiences come out through that.
I think as long as they want to do it, it's just going to keep it up for many more years to come.
No, it's so fun. We just get to play, and yeah, this year it's so funny to be like, I just sneak looks at him on stage, and I'm like, oh, that's my husband. That's weird, but cool. It's so
It's wonderful. This is our first year. We just got married about a month ago, and so it's our first year doing that, and obviously still in our honeymoon phase. But yeah, it's still walking on air from the wedding. So then to do this, which we love doing anyway, and then to do it together, and then with our best friends, it's pretty much heaven, Jessica.
out of the 307 shows that we have performed to date, I have only missed 4. I have run the tech and the sound for all the rest of the shows. So I'll probably be found dead in that booth, and that's when you know Night of the Living Dead is over, unless I become reanimated.